Hi, welcome back. We are going to be talking about what makes a real people. What is a real people? Right now, that term is being used or misused just as a sales pitch. The people, the peddlers that are looking to sell their dogs to new people. When I say new people, meaning people that are interested in dogs for the first time, or people that never owned a pit bull, but they have this sense of I want to have it. I want to have it. What's a real pit bull for you guys? There are many levels of definition of what's a real pit bull, but for the public, this is the definition of a real pit bull. The main thing you need is a pedigree, not just any pedigree, but a pedigree that is consistent with the breed, with the American Pit Bull Terrier breed. In that pedigree, you have to have working dogs. Pedigree meaning history. The family tree of that dog has to have working dogs. And we are talking history. We are talking how the dog was developed, how the breed was developed, and how it continued to develop. This is all history. So for the dogs, for the pedigree, for the American Pit Bull Terrier, at that time, they were refined by dogfighting. The dogfight created or helped the breeders have better dogs. So the pedigree, first you have to have a pedigree, and first have to have dogs that merit the pedigree of an American Pit Bull Terrier, of a real American Pit Bull Terrier. So and you also have to have a third party endorsing, confirming that the pedigree is real. Unless you trust the breeder, and you got to be careful who you trust because a lot of breeders are salesmen. So you have to be careful because they are in the business of selling dogs. So they are going to shoe shine those dogs the best way they can. So you have to have a third party endorsing, confirming that these pups, these dogs that you are getting are bred the way the breeder is telling you. The worst breeders are the ones that now just have moved away from a third party endorsing the pedigree because these third parties called registries, like the AKC, the American Kennel Club, for other breeds. American Pit Bull Terrier also has registries that register this breed and maintain DNA testing and require DNA testing to make sure that people are not hanging papers or basically reduce the possibility of people hanging papers. But at the same time, you can test. You receive the pup, you have DNA testing of the parents, you go with that form, DNA test the pup, and find out if it matches. So you definitely need a third party. Okay? You should, especially if you're paying a lot of money, if you're paying good money, make sure you have registry papers. Or the dog has to be a lot lower priced because it's just a nice looking birth certificate means nothing for anyone else but you because not even the breeder will care about that birth certificate after he gives you the pup and that paper. It'll be worthless. So a registry or a registry paper is completely different. Do not get fooled. So what's a real pit bull? A real pit bull is one that has a pedigree, has dogs in the pedigree that have been confirmed working dogs close, not too far back, and that you have this is the third one is not really endorsing being a real pit bull. If these two endorse a real pit bull, but for you to make sure that it is, get a dog with registry papers. The ADBA is the one that most people know, or some there's other reputable registries available. So, what's a real pit bull? Pedigree and dogs that are working a generation. Okay, and get them with the registry, and you have a real pit bull. Now, if the real pit bull doesn't act like the pedigree or like the standard of the breed, that's a different story. Still a real pit bull, just happen to be either what we call cold or is kind of rough at the beginning, but it's like maybe not. So it's different. There's other dogs. The breed standard expects a dog to be animal aggressive, but again, that's completely different story, different subject. We are going to leave it here about what's a real pit bull. So now you have an understanding of if you're new to the breed or new, you heard the term and you're wondering what's BS and what's sales pitch and what's reality. I just gave you reality. Okay. Have a good day.